Hello, and welcome to The History of. I'm Richard,
I'm Steve.
and we are here to talk about our worst lists of 2023. The films that we thought were pretty bad. Maybe not necessarily bad, but disappointing also.
No, some of them are pretty bad.
I have some that are really bad, but some that's on my list just because it's disappointing.
True.
Not necessarily. It's not that it's necessarily a bad made movie, but
Yeah.
it's like it could have been better, kind of thing. You know.
Yeah.
Our choices may be completely different because our tastes in movies are different. Like I usually focus on more sci-fi, horror, fantasy, animation, whereas Steve usually focuses on a more broad.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has more of a larger palette
Yep.
of movies that he likes to watch as opposed to me. Because I figure, there's only so much time in the day to do stuff. There's only so much to watch, only so much to do, so I limit to what I'm really interested in. Steve's going to talk about number 10, but I don't have a number 10.
Oh.
Of all the movies that I saw, I could only find 9 that I thought were either terrible or just disappointing. Number 10.
The Pope's Exorcist. What? So,
How do you put that in the paper? How do you type that?
yeah, I thought it was incredibly boring. Russell Crowe didn't seem to be able to keep that accent to save his life. Yeah, it was just really boring. I ended up fast forwarding, I think, through the last half.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I just didn't like it. It's really stupid. Don't waste your time.
Number 9.
Is a movie called Priscilla.
Priscilla. I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, that is the latest movie by Sofia Coppola, who in general, I like her films, but I did not like this one at all. I think primarily due to the story. It was well made. It looks beautiful. I think she's a good filmmaker. I just didn't like the story because I don't know a whole lot about Elvis and Priscilla. Their
it's
whole,
that one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was, I guess, sort of clueless that Priscilla Presley was so young when they started dating.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know a whole lot about their lives. I was so perturbed because the movie, admittedly, I walked out about 30 minutes into
Oh,
movie.
wow.
Yeah, because I didn't like it at all. But the movie was clearly painting Elvis to be this horrible, horrible person. And I was just like, I don't need to see that. I like him. I like him for who he is, and I don't need to find out what a horrible person he might have been behind the scenes, if that's even true. Because it also clearly seemed very one-sided.
Oh, wow.
On Priscilla's side, and the movie, from what I saw of it, placed almost no fault on her parents. And for me, all of the fault is on her parents. She should have never been dating him in the first place.
Yeah.
Period. They should have never had a relationship. Period.
And he was a celebrity when they met.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's maybe one scene, I think, of the parents sort of arguing off screen, and that's it. And I'm like, no, this never should have happened. They never should have been together, but her parents allowed it. So
Because he was a celebrity.
So anyway, I left. I didn't want to see the rest of it. I was not happy. Number 9. Number 9. Number 9.
Oh.
Number 9.
Number 9 on my list is Elemental. It's not necessarily a terrible movie, but it's very bland.
Yeah.
Most of the time when Pixar makes a movie, it's very moving.
Yeah.
Like Inside Out and Coco.
Yeah.
But this one, it's just like nothing. There's actually no emotional impact. That's disappointing.
Yeah, I agree. It's not on my worst list, but it's extremely mediocre.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, this was an extremely mediocre year for animated films in general. Usually I have at least one animated film on my top 10 list every year. But this year, nothing.
Number 8.
Fingernails. Boy, was that bad. Yeah, it's a movie that I almost don't want to talk about because I feel like I'm wasting my time. It's really bad. It's like a somewhat near future. and there's this company, they can like take fingernails and to try and match people up, make love matches. Anyway, it's so bad. It's so bad.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
From the description, it just sounds dumb.
Yeah, it's really bad. Moving on.
So number 8 on my list of the worst movies is 65.
Oh,
Could that be a more generic movie? Just boring, just everything trope you can think of. The only thing I found interesting is that he happened to land on the planet just as the meteorite that's coming down to crash to destroy the dinosaurs. I thought that was a fascinating concept.
yeah, I agree.
But the execution was just so bland and boring.
Yeah, it's a bad movie. I did enjoy the sort of final battle, I guess you could say, with the T-Rexes. But it's a bad movie. It didn't make my worst list because I saw a lot more bad movies than you. But yeah, it could have very well been on my worst list if I hadn't seen all these other stupid movies.
Number 7.
Showing Up. Yeah, it's terrible.
So, what made you want to see it?
I liked the cast. It has Hong Chow. I love her. And, no, I'm blanking on her name. Why am I blanking on her name? Let me look it up. This is embarrassing. I hate getting old. Michelle Williams. I love Michelle Williams, even though I can't remember her name. And it was directed by Kelly Reichardt, who is like this sort of popular incoming indie director. And I don't know, I thought it might be good, and it's really boring. It's about these artists, and they make really bad art, and yeah, it's really stupid. Do not show up for that movie.
My number 7 is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
That makes me happy. I was so disappointed in that movie.
It's a beautifully animated movie,
Yeah,
but oh my god, I hated Miles Morales.
yeah,
He just kept doing everything wrong.
yeah,
And especially by not telling his parents that he's Spider-Man. So they're like really concerned about him, and he was just being really selfish, and it just drove me nuts.
yeah,
And every time he's late to something,
yeah.
and he has an explanation, but he's like, I can't tell you, and they're just like, and of course his parents are going to be mad,
Yeah.
right? They're like, what? And he's like, oh, I can't tell you. Like, oh my god, this is so dumb, it's so bad, it's so frustrating. And then when they get to the Spider-Verse,
Yeah.
with all the other spider people, and the fact that he was able to outmaneuver and beat all the other spider people.
Yeah.
This one spider
Yeah.
was able to beat. It was ridiculous. I just couldn't. It just frustrated the hell out of me.
I agree with everything you said. Yeah, everyone loves it. I was so disappointed. I found it to be really dull too. There were so many scenes where it's just like all this drama with his parents, and I'm just like, where's the fun in this movie?
Yeah.
Ugh, yeah, it sucked. It's not on my top worst list because I saw a lot of bad movies. But it very well could be. Yeah, indeed. And people loved it. Why did y'all love it? Why are you so crazy? We're the smart ones.
Number 6.
The latest atrocity from Wes Anderson, and that's Asteroid City. Why is that bad? He hasn't made a good movie since Grand Budapest Hotel. I don't know what's going on with him. He's lost his mojo. It's really boring. It's really stupid. I don't recommend it. But he did do some shorts for Netflix that were actually not that bad. They're based, well, he didn't write the stories. They're based on short stories by Roald Dahl,
No.
who did Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and all that.
Mhm.
So, but those aren't that bad.
All right. One of the worst movies of the year, number 6, is Wonder Well.
Oh,
That was Carrie Fisher's last movie. It is so bad. It makes no sense. She's brilliant. I loved her. Her character was great. But everything else about it was just so dreary. It was boring. It was a slog to get through. Just couldn't. And every time Carrie Fisher left the film, it was just like, Oh, this is so bad. Don't even watch it, even for Carrie.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Unless you
But
want to.
You just said she was so good.
She is, but you want to put yourself through the rest of the movie to watch that?
I don't have to. I can just fast forward and just. And that's probably what I'll do. I'll just fast forward and watch the Carrie scene.
There you go.
Because I love her that much that I'm willing to do that.
All right, awesome.
Number 5.
Fear the Night. I don't know. It's some bullshit movie I watched with my dad that he wanted to watch, and let's not even talk about it. Moving on. It's an action film, and this woman, she's like ex-military, and it's like a home invasion thing, and she's gonna kick their ass because she's got all the skills. It's routine and boring and stupid and dumb. Anyway, moving on.
All right. Number 5 on my list is The Meg 2.
Oh!
Come on. The Meg was actually kind of fun because it was a lot of shark drama. But
Yeah.
The Meg 2 was just like, hello, when are we going to get to the shark? What's with all the science bullshit, and going down to this trench and everybody walking. And when they finally got to the shark attack, the Meg shark attack, it was like way too late. It was just,
Yeah.
they bore the fuck out of you for like the first hour or the first 40, whatever, how long it takes, and then you're just like, I'm done. And then the Meg comes out and you're like, whatever. And it's not even the Meg, it's like the Meg and dinosaurs?
Oh yeah.
The raptors or something, like, come on.
Yeah.
Like the Okay, so the ending of my comment about the Meg 2 got cut off because the battery on my camera died. But what did you think of the Meg 2?
I didn't hate it as much as you.
Oh.
I'm not going to say it's a good movie, but I didn't hate it as much as you. I think its biggest flaw is that there's not enough sharks. There's not enough shark action. I'm like, this is supposed to be a shark movie. Where are the sharks?
Exactly.
It's a brain-dead action movie. I sort of enjoyed it for what it was, but yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Number 4.
So my number 4 is Poor Things.
Oh, really? I've been hearing a lot of good things about it.
I hate this movie so much. Flames on the side of my face. Heaving breath. I hate this movie.
Damn.
I hate it. It's remarkable that there's 3 more that I hate more than this. Yeah, it's an incredibly stupid movie. I don't understand why our people are talking about it like it's high art. I hated it. I didn't like the direction. I didn't like the story. The whole first third of the movie's in black and white for no apparent reason. Like, why? At least the movie Maestro, there was like a reason for part of the film being in black and white. But this movie, no reason whatsoever.
My number 4 of the worst movies of 2023 is The Exorcist Believer. Oh my god, it is so slow at getting started. I was first like, what the fuck? When you get to the point of this movie, it took forever for anything to happen. Have you seen it?
No.
No, it just... And then when it finally got started, it basically became routine. Your typical exorcism type, and we gotta get people together, we gotta exorcise the spirits out of these girls, and then it's pretty mean.
Yeah.
Especially the way it ends. It's mean to the girls. Coming from the people that wrote Halloween Ends and Halloween Kills, it's not surprising.
Not surprising at all.
Yeah, because those are 2 really bad movies. So they're coming off of that and then going to Exorcist Believer, and it was successful enough, they're going to do a trilogy like they did with Halloween.
Yeah, I didn't bother going to see it because I knew it was by the same people who did that recent Halloween trilogy, which was terrible, so I figured why bother.
Yeah.
Number 3.
My number 3 worst movie of the year is the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Aww.
I know it's probably a very unpopular opinion, but it was not for me. I was so bored out of my mind, and I just kept sitting there thinking, this is only for people who really worship the game, because I can't understand how anyone can find this entertaining, or any adult find this entertaining. I'm sure all kids would love it. Yeah, but you're a gamer. You're a hardcore gamer. You have I'm sure you have like an emotional connection to Mario Brothers that I don't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was
if
fun.
I did, I probably would have loved the movie, but I don't, and I'm just like, whatever.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. I get it.
I kept trying to watch it on my lunch breaks, and like 5 days in a row, I'd like watch a little bit more, and I'd be like, ugh, and I'd turn it to something else, and I don't think I even finished it, to be honest.
Wow.
Yeah.
Number 3 on my list is this really bad movie called Till Death Do Us Part.
Oh.
And that's something that you hadn't heard of.
Yeah.
And this is the one movie I could not finish.
Yeah.
Because it's that bad. It's basically just, it's kind of like that one you saw, Fear the Night.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that. It's basically this bride leaves a wedding and hides out in a house. And then the groom sends the groom's men to basically keep her in the house. Okay, but the problem with that is, all he said was, make sure she doesn't leave the house. Do you think that's all they did? No. They get out of their car, they go to the house, and they try to get in the house. And so her, with her karate chop skills and all this stuff, is beating them off.
And is she wearing a wedding dress?
She's wearing the wedding dress, and she's fighting them back and killing them, and I'm just like, they do this flashback, and you're like, what the fuck is up with this flashback, you know? It's just a mess of a movie. All the characters were horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible, unlikable people. I didn't care about any one of them. Gary watched it. He liked it. Gary liked it.
That doesn't surprise me. He's easier to please.
Number 2.
It's a French film called Smoking Causes Coughing. Boy, is this movie bad. It's supposed to be a comedy. I don't think I laughed once the whole thing. I can barely even remember the plot. I just remember there are these different people who are supposed to be superheroes. I can't even remember if they're really superheroes or they're just pretending to be superheroes for a TV show. But the movie was so mind-numbingly stupid, I just sort of like put it out of my head.
That's intriguing.
It's really, really bad.
Okay.
Watch the trailer. Maybe it'll look good or maybe it'll look stupid, but I guarantee if you watch it, you can be like, fuck this.
Number 2 on my list is Dream Scenario.
Oh, okay.
And Nicolas Cage is getting a lot of praise for this. He's very good in the movie. Everybody was stupid in the movie. That's what I couldn't get over. The simple plot is, everybody is dreaming about his character. He is showing up in their dreams.
Oh.
And so he becomes a celebrity because of that.
Oh.
But then it goes bad. And my problem with that is the way people react to the way it went bad just doesn't seem real. It just seemed made for the movie, like the way people would react in the movie, but not in real life. I was just like, are you kidding me with these people? It's basically like cult of celebrity, and then when the celebrity turns bad, and then everybody turns against the celebrity, kind of like that.
Oh, okay.
But it didn't make sense in the context of the movie.
Oh.
And that's what frustrated me, and I hated it for that.
That's a bummer, because that's a movie that I missed that I really wanted to see.
It's funny at the beginning, but then it becomes like a total fucking drag. Yeah. All right. Here we are.
Number 1.
My worst movie of the year. As much as I love him, and I do adore John Waters. Life would be sad without him in this world. It was his favorite movie of the year. But he's got very strange taste. But my least favorite movie of the year was Beau is Afraid. It's 3 hours long. I don't even know how to describe it. It's weird, but not in a good, entertaining way.
Okay.
I'm not really a fan of Ari Aster. I enjoyed his first film, Hereditary, very much. But his second film, Midsommar, was my worst movie of the year when that came out. I fucking hate that movie so much. I can't remember if you like that or not.
I hated it.
Okay, so.
But I also hated Hereditary.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm sure you'll hate Beau is Afraid since you hate all of his movies. It's essentially like a 3-hour fantasy dream sequence about a man who has really bad mommy issues. It's a really, really terrible movie, and I honestly wish Ari Aster would just go to therapy instead of make movies, because I think that's what he really needs is therapy. He doesn't need to make movies anymore. Stop torturing us. It's a horrible, horrible movie, and probably my biggest waste of time this year. Yeah.
And you watched the whole 3 hours?
I watched about an hour and a half, and then I just sort of scanned through it up until Patti LuPone came on screen, because she plays his mother, and I wanted to see her performance because I like her. And she was great. Yeah. I mean, she's always great.
Yeah.
And then I watched from there to the end to see how it ended. Stupid ending. I mean, the whole movie's fucking stupid. So, anyway, enough about that bad movie. Now you're going to shit on one of my favorite movies of the year. I can't believe you hated it that much.
Number one on my list of the worst movies of 2023 is Indiana Jones and the Dial of
Destiny.
Everything you liked about it is what I hated about it. I hate that they made Indiana Jones depressing. I don't care that this is what happens when people get old. I don't care about that, because that is not what we go to see Indiana Jones movies for.
Mm-hmm.
We go to see him having these adventures, and that's it. We don't need his drama of his son being killed, him not having any kind of relationship with Marion. We don't need any of that. It's supposed to be about the adventures. The goddaughter is basically a villain, because she practically twice tries to get Indy killed. And then that whole 20-minute sequence at the beginning with the flashback, completely useless. That Nazi villain that gets knocked on the head on the train would have been dead. I hated everything about it. That is not Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones is what we saw in the first 3 movies. I didn't like the Crystal Skull, and I thought it was bad, but this is worse than the Crystal Skull. I mean, at least in Crystal Skull, it had an upbeat ending. It would have been a really good ending there, too. But no, they had to fuck all that up.
I disagree with Siskel over here.
Am I a bit too angry? They made him a miserable old man. I didn't like that. He can still be an old man on High Adventure.
We're all entitled to our own opinion, right?
Yes. Yes, we are.
I'm Ebert. This is Siskel. You've been watching At the Movies. I loved Dial of Destiny. He hates it. You know, opinions are ephemeral. You can rewatch a movie and hate it later, or like it more later.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes I look at my list from years past and I'm like, what? I'm like, that was my number 1? Yeah, it's crazy. You know, and time goes on and certain movies stay with you and certain movies don't. Sometimes you can really love a movie and then not like it so much later. Which is more frequent than not liking a movie and then liking it later, which has happened to me, because I remember David Lynch's Mulholland Drive. I hated when I first saw it, but I rewatched it and I actually love it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
wow.
It's a fantastic movie.
You have to be in the right frame of mind.
Yeah, so, you know, it can go both ways. But, you know, as of today, those are my least favorite movies, and those were my favorite movies in the other one, the video we did, and I'm sticking to it for today.
All right, well, I'm Richard.
I'm Steve.
And thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and click subscribe. I'll see you on the next The History of. Bye. All right. Well, thank you, Steve.
You're welcome.
That was fun.
I look forward to watching it.